told me about playing with Luka, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You actually played with him.
We were teammates, yeah.
Teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Where were y'all at the time when you was playing?
We were in Real Madrid. I played about a year and a half, almost equivalent 2 years in Real Madrid. Luka, my first year was playing on the junior team. So he was about 15, 16 years old.
Okay, good.
But he used to practice with us. It was him and it was like 3 other guys. They used to practice with us, especially in the summertime when we first get there. Most of the other guys play national team. They're on the Spanish national team. So they're gone. So Luka and them would fill in for us during preseason. And so he was nice. He was like
he was killing like it was.
He wasn't killing at first because it was just like he was still young. But
probably getting into his body.
So 15 said, I'm like, but you could see like the passes he was making and stuff. But sometimes it just be that young kid mentality, do some dumb shit, you know, and coach get on him. I left and I came back to the team, and now he's on the team with us. And it was a video, I don't know, it was on Instagram, it circulated one time. We were in Russia, and they showed the video of our coach. He's cursing Luka out in Spanish. And then Luka come out and hit 4 threes, and it's just like, it showed the magnitude of how he started to grow. Because, you know, the younger him the year before, he probably would have, I ain't gonna say folded, but it probably would have wrecked him a little bit.
Gotcha.
But then it's like that next year, he was like, okay, developing, like he knowing he can play. I left and went to Greece and started playing for Panathinaikos. And I had got word that I knew that Luka went to, I want to say BDA Sports was out in Oakland or whatever. And he was out in Oakland and in Cali training and stuff. They was training and whatnot. So we match up one of the first, you know, times in EuroLeague or whatever when I'm playing against my old team. And so he out there talking.
He talking shit to you?
And he wasn't talking shit to me, but he was just talking. And I heard
What's he be saying though? Does he talk shit in English, his language, like what?
Most of the time it's English. Like if it's other American, it's English. But you know, once you start hearing that puta and all that and that Spanish and shit, yeah, you know, like because when we was in Madrid, Real Madrid, our practices was all conducted in Spanish, so you had to understand the Spanish. So everything is, once we crossed the lines, everything's spoken in Spanish. It might be a little bit of English in there, but everything was spoken in Spanish. I had a teammate though, J.C. Carroll. Damn sniper, bro. He was fluent in Spanish. He was a Mormon, so he did a mission in Chile for 2 years. So he understood the Spanish. So sometimes, you know, me and him would always match up in practice. If I wasn't matched up against Rudy Fernandez or Sergio Yu, I'd be matched up with JC. So if coach started talking in Spanish,
you could whisper something.
Some stuff I understood because I took Spanish in school, but then it's like some stuff like when they start doing the rolling of the tongue and it goes super fast when he's a little upset, I just stand by JC and then he'll just whisper like whatever coach just said. I was like, okay, I thought so. Like I thought that's what he was doing, you know. So I started picking up. But man, Luka, man, like listen, to watch his growth from 15 to 17 to 18-year-old kid, like a lot of people like, you know, Charles Barkley, like, you know, y'all let an 18-year-old kid, you know, win EuroLeague and do all this. It's like, sir, please don't forget about Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio was that guy at a young age, but this is because we didn't really pay attention to the European scene growing up. But my uncle played in Europe. He was a good point guard in Europe. Like, you know, loved everything. He actually played for Panathinaikos as well. So when I joined the club, they were like, you know, the family.
That's crazy, bro.
So he was showing me different videos. So when we talk about lefties, we only talk about lefties in the NBA, but there's a guy over there that was a lefty that my uncle always used to come home and rave about, named Demetrius Diamantidis. Diamantidis is on the Greek team that beat USA in the World Cup in 2006. So it was him and a dude named Spanoulius. Killers. Like Diamantidis, left-handed, like not super quick, but shifty. Get on you, very defensive-minded, lock you down. Like, so I'm at home watching VHS tapes of this guy because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Then when I get to Europe, that's all I'm hearing about, Diamantidis. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I know this dude. So the first time I match up with him, it's like, yo, he tells me, I love your uncle. He's like, your uncle always took care of me. You know,
that's
he was
dope,
like, you
bro.
know,
That's dope.
Your uncle, you know, he always looked out for me, So it was like, it was one of those things, you know, to see the growth from a European standpoint of something different. So when I seen Luka doing the things that he was doing at 18, bro, it was nothing he couldn't do. Like, he was gifted. He's gifted, but that goes back to me saying that these kids, they work out, they train, they eat, sleep, live basketball or whatever sport, soccer. Real Madrid has a great program. Like, they have where the practice facility was for soccer and basketball. There's the housing for the academy where the young kids stay. So they have the cafeteria, they have all the treatment stuff, they have the practice gyms, and it's like school, back, train, back, whatever.
So let me ask you this. What can we pull from Europe to help us develop our kids, and then what can they pull from us to help develop their kids?
I think for us, when it comes to developing things, it's like, given the state of how we're doing everything now with the education system and whatnot, it's like, cool, you want to go to school? All right, let's do your schoolwork. But if your focus is the sport, you got to train with that. That's got to be a everyday thing. School for them is school. Mm-hmm. They go to school if they want to go to school. If not, they turn pro at 15 years old,
Right.
So if we had that sort of system where it kind of allows kids to kind of choose their profession is what they want to do. Like, if you want to train this, go ahead, train for it. You still got to go to school, I guess, to get the basics.
Correct.
And everything. But here you go. Like, because obviously most of them kids, they try to turn pro.
Right.
They're playing, like, you see these guys, they retiring at 35, 36. And some people are like, well, that's kind of young. They probably could have played. And it's like, you got to think, these dudes been playing for 21, 22 plus years,
right?
Where it's like nonstop, where it's just, you got the league, then you got, if you're able, fortunate, you got national team, then it's, as soon as national team finish, you back into the season. And you know what I'm saying? Soccer is year round. It's like, constantly. So it's, if we're going to focus on a sport, let it be focused on sport. If you're going to focus on school, let it be school. Choose your profession, go to school, do this, do that, I think we put so much stipulation on passing tests in the sense of you got to show, you know what I'm saying? It's like people understand things in a different aspect of life.